Boards out of it. We'll just see where we end up. Extremely windy today, so I'm going to be fighting my tarps. Let me take a look at those. Let's take a walk up to the shop. Yeah, it's not looking good. Oh my goodness, I just want to survive till I can get the roof on. See how this side's doing. Yesterday I had to fix it. Yeah, it's trying to lift it off too. Again, where the ladder is, I had to anchor it down. I don't know if it's going to survive, and we got rain coming. All I needed was for it to not be windy until I could get the roof done. Gosh darn. That's a little messed up. Garbage. See what happens. Try it again. This wind should dry out that wood pretty good. Then I'm gonna make 3.5 to 4 inch battens. And after I make them, I gotta plane them all down to where they're all exactly the same thickness. So I'm gonna keep rotating this. I'm trying to get rid of the oddball bark so that I get into a nice clean piece of wood, and then I'll figure out how I'm gonna go about that. Because I think this whole piece will do everything I need. But I don't really know for sure until I start putting them on the building. And I won't be able to do that until I get the plywood for the siding and the, oops, I left the jack under it. Darn, I hate it when I do that. There we go. I'm going to play it by ear. I got plenty of these to work with. I got roof battens to do too for the metal roofing. So, like I said, everything's going to be different than I did on this building. Everything. There, I got the last of that bad edge off. That was blocking me. It's all gone. Good, let's take a look, measure it. That looked really good there. Perfect, we got a perfect cut. Let's get a bunch of these cut. This is temporarily set up here. They're going to get moved. I just want to get them all cut first. So the reason I'm doing 1-inch boards right now, and I don't want 1-inch boards on the sides, is as they dry, they're gonna bow on me. So I'm gonna have to plane them down. And when I do that, I'm gonna lose, obviously, some width, which will get me down to between 1/2 inch and 5/8 is where I wanna be, somewhere in there. 5/8 would be optimum. I think that'd be a perfect thickness to put on the walls. Of course, I'm gonna put down siding, plywood first, and I'm getting 1/2-inch plywood. I'll put that down. Then I'm gonna put these down on the reverse battens, and I'll show you how that works out. And then later on, we'll be doing some chinking between them, and it'll give it kind of a log looking effect, just to try something different. It's something I've been thinking about for several years, and lo and behold, last year, one of the guys that I've been watching for years and idolized, he's the reason I'm out here, is I seeing his videos and his life, and I just like, I need to do that. And I'm actually living it now. But he actually did what I've been thinking about for several years. At least 3 years ago, I started thinking about it. I think I even mentioned it on one of my videos. But yeah, he beat me to it. That's okay. Anyway, I'll be doing it. I'm not copying him. Just happens to be, we think a lot alike, I think. So that's the way it works. Here I go. Back at it. About 1.5 inches, that'll make a good 2x6, 2x10, whatever I want. Don't have a need for it right now, but that being said, there'll be a time I'll need it, and I'll wish I had it. So, I mean, it's all wonky. This blade's getting dull, so it's pretty wonky board, but that's okay. I can work with it. If it's a 2x6, that won't matter at all. It's just this side's that have to be perfect. At any rate, I'm going to stop, have some lunch, time to cook up some stuff, and then I've got a stack. Also down below here, these beams are tamarack. They're like probably 28 feet long. I was going to use them for ridge beams, but they're too small for that. So I decided not to. So now I'm going to cut them to longer lengths and make my, there's a couple things I could do. I certainly could make posts out of them if I wanted. But I got 3 of them here. So I think I'm going to use one of them for sure for making my, for my metal roofing, the little, probably 1x2 boards to run across the roof. I'll probably use these for that and cut them in 10-foot lengths maybe, or 8-foot lengths, maybe 9-foot lengths. I don't know. I'll determine, because I want breaks in them so that the water can travel out. If any water ever gets underneath, I want it to be able to travel out. I don't think it will. I've never had a problem on this roof. So for now, we're done. Another day. Started sleeting a little bit ago. Went from being beautiful this week to freezing weather again. It's 30 degrees right now. Temperature's dropping. I'm gonna work on this little pine tree right here rather than try to pull another big tree up. And I'm gonna cut some little over 1 inch, 1 1/8 inch boards for the walls out of pine. And this will be the exterior boards. See what I can get out of this first section here. Borderline 10-inch boards. We'll see what I can get. If I can get some 10-inch boards out of it, that'd be great. Then I'll start working with the rest of this just to get some trim pieces and whatnot out of it. So let's go ahead and just get into it and we'll start milling. Seems like I have to heat up the coils twice, or the igniter twice. Darn it. There we go. That'll work. All right. My main reason for talking about lining up the pith and stuff is for anybody that's thinking about coming along and doing milling. I'm trying to give you guys some information I've learned along the way that I didn't learn right away. So hopefully those of you that are watching, if you research what I'm telling you, you'll find that it's the best way to cut your wood. I started out doing what a lot of people do, leveling at the top. I'm sure I've seen somebody do it before, and that's why I did it. But that's actually not the best method. I'm not going to say there's anything wrong with it. It's better than not leveling it at all. But yeah, it's probably not the best method. All right, this one's small enough. I could probably use the gauge on here. I can raise this. Here, let me pull the guard back a little bit. I can raise this to where it lines up with the pith here, rather than drawing a line. So I'm going to say about central on the pith here, which is just a little over 6 1/4 inches. So I can go now to the other side. It's right around 8 inches. All right, let's come back, bring this up to the same height, just under 8 1/4. Right about there. So we got about 1.5 2 inches to go. Bring it on up and just a touch more what I want out of this log. But we'll get boards out of it. We'll just see where we end up. They are green, that's for sure. For now, I'm just stacking them here. I'll move them later. So this is pine, and they're a little thicker than I need, so I can work them, and they're a little wider than I need. That way I can get everything fitting nice. Really, it doesn't matter on the walls. Some of these will be the wall ones. They'll shrink a bit as they dry, quite a bit actually. So I think they're about 10.5 inches wide. So they'll lose a 1/2 inch for sure over time at the minimum, maybe even a little more, but not much. From what I've experienced anyway. So it's solid ice here, so I can't get down there. But I gotta get water. I am out of water, which means I gotta run a battery down there. Wow. This is why I haven't been getting water. There we go. Holy mackerel. I got to come back down here later and fix this wire. But for now, let's see if we can get up there with these. I got to get as much water as I can on this trip. Yeah, I'm going to have to do one at a time. Just nuts. This is not a normal year, I'm telling you. Usually it's just snow that I have to deal with, and I can walk in the snow. I do have some spike shoes that I didn't put on, but I will grab them the next time I come down here. Besides that, I got to fix some wiring. This is just nuts. I'm telling you. Golly. It's just too slick. There's nowhere to step. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh. There. I'm telling you, it's nuts. So, I don't know if I can get it all filled. We'll try. And go back down and do some more. Just be careful. If I can get this load done, I think what I'll do is I'll just let it start melting some more. After we get a good melt off, then I'll come back and work on the wiring and stuff. If I can get these all filled today, that should be pretty good. I am going to develop this as soon as we get a good thaw. I'm going to start working on it right away. I don't want to deal with this another winter to where I can't get the water from up here. And that solar's been set up for 3 years now. Never used. I mean, it's collecting sun, which I guess is hard on solar panels if they're not being used, but that's the way it goes. All right, back down there. Well, as you can see, I'm going to make a stew again today. It did sleet yesterday. It's about 22 degrees Fahrenheit out right now, so it's pretty cold. It's a frosty one. It is sunny, so it's beautiful. I'm going to cut some more wood today. I've got another chunk of pine I'm going to cut and bring over here to the mill, and we'll mill that up and make some boards out of that. I do need to get a few boards made anyways, trim pieces for future use. So I got to kind of figure out what the length will be. I might just square it up and keep it as a beam for now, stack it off to where it can sit there and slow dry, and then I'll cut off the wood that I need from it as time allows, which I've done on other pieces of wood. It works out pretty good that way. I don't get a bunch of wood that starts warping and bowing and doing all kinds of weird things on me. So, all right, I'm gonna keep my vegetables out here for now because it's nice and cold. And once that gets to a point where I can put all the vegetables in there and start slow simmering it on the wood stove, I will come out here and start working. So the building part, I am probably going to wait till next month to buy my siding and start doing the siding on 3 sides. So the front and the 2 sides. The back is where the new addition's going to go. I don't need to do anything with the wall yet because I'm going to be running power through it. And I'm going to have the fuse panel or the breaker panel on the inside. So I'm not even going to worry about that wall because it's going to be inside the building because of the addition. Then I'll start working on that addition. I've got to look into a post hole digger I wanted to try out. There's a company that asked me if I would like to try their post hole digger out. So I'm going to see if they'll still be interested. I'll contact them. I haven't heard back from them. And if they are, this is a good time. As soon as this ground thaws out, which will be next month, I'll be able to start digging post holes and start that addition. And we're going to go into full-fledged next month back into building and hopefully get this shop dried in completely to where I can save up and buy the roofing material next. And I'm going to do a metal roof on it just because I'm going to have a wood stove in it. And I've got my little wood stove I was going to use for the smokehouse. It needs a, it's got like a, it's not really a ceramic, it's got a baffle in the top and they deteriorate. This is 2 of them I went through, but being it's not a full-time heating in there, maybe it'll last. I went to go buy a baffle for it. They're out of stock. So I have to wait and see what happens. No hurry anyways, because I got to buy the pipe for it. Then the little smoke, or the little wood stove is going to go into the addition. Right now I have it plumbed up to the roof, but I've got all the pipe for that, more than enough. I didn't have enough to go through the roof there. So anyways, that'll be in the addition, because the addition's going to be set up so it's a bedroom in the summer for me. And if I want to light that little wood fire in the mornings, if it's really brisk in the mornings, you know, if I move into it like this time of year, then I would have some heat in that room, because the main wood stove in the other part of the building probably won't flow into that room very good. I don't get much heat in this little room here, but I get tons of heat in the main building. And that's open all the time. I only put a curtain across it because that's a bathroom and water storage. It's got a 100-gallon tank in it. But I don't get much heat in there at all. It's cold in there. All right, so I didn't cut this log yesterday. It's 25 degrees today, about what it was yesterday. I put hot water in here. I can't get it to go down the drip line. It freezes too fast. So that's a problem. I don't know how this log's going to cut, but we'll go ahead and try and cut it today. I got a sharp blade on there. It's actually the same one, but yeah, we'll just see what we can do. This weather turned cold again, really cold. Yeah. You keep thinking you're going to get spring and then you get winter. And that's part of what makes this thing cut good, is getting the drip on the blade, keeping the blade cool. The blade's going to heat up as I run along this log, so we'll just see what happens. so that works out. Do love the pine. I should be able to get a board out of this one, the thin one. Oh, got stuff under there. There. Okay. So it does have some bark on it, which means I could take off the bark and turn it into a single board. I'll wait till later, till I know what I'm going to use it for. Then I'll decide. But that was out of that piece of log. That's not bad. It's a good start. And I just got to make sure that they're all the same thickness. I'm not worried about the sides. As long as I get the thickness out of them. Oh yeah. That'll work. Let's do this. This stuff's nice and dry, so I won't have any issues with it when I go to put the roof together. Get the metal sheathing, or the metal roofing. I don't know about this next row. They do make blades for cutting in frozen wood. This is all softwood. Well, this is actually pretty hard because it's been sitting for over a year. It's totally dry. Completely dry wood. Oh no, frozen. Frozen, frozen. Well, let's see what we can do.